okay, we heard from this school counselor who made it very clear he had no idea that Ethan had access to a gun, much less that his parents had just literally bought him a gun. They didn't say anything.
Isn't that so true? The only person in that meeting that knew were the parents. The school officials didn't know, the school counselor didn't know, school teachers, classmates. There's no one in that school, in that meeting, in that critical time when the parents are speaking to the school counselor. They're already raising concerns about Ethan in the classroom with the math sheet. There were apparently three complaints from other teachers that Ethan was looking at videos where people are shooting someone. Like there's a shooter, active shooter, killing people, and he's watching this video. And yet no one says anything about this gun. And by the way, that gun, that math sheet, that gun that's depicted in that sheet, we should put a side-by-side comparison to the 9mm. It's virtually the exact same. Exactly.
So we also learned that the backpack that Ethan was carrying to school today that contained the 9mm gun was in that school office when the parents and Ethan were meeting with the counselors. It was like right there.
Yes. And no one said, by the way, did someone check that backpack? Just check it.
Or even the parents, without saying anything, if they didn't want to implicate themselves or get anybody in trouble, they didn't say, hey, Ethan, let me just take a look inside your backpack.
Brilliant point, because that would have avoided all of this, the carnage that took place just a few hours later.
We do know that once reports got out that there had been a school shooting, James Crumbley called 911. Yep. Before he knew it was his son who had done the shooting, he called 911 and reported to the 911 operator that it was his son, because he was home and he looked for the gun and saw that it was missing.
Exactly. And on the bed, apparently there was a box where some of the ammunition was. So there is definitely evidence that the gun was taken and bullets were missing. So that's where it's obviously he knew. And the minute he heard about the shooting, he immediately thought it was his son.
All right, let's listen to this, because obviously we know that Ethan Crumbley's mother, who's already been on trial and has already been found guilty, was very criticized because for her lack of warmth or maternal sort of actions toward her son. She was very cold on the stand and in all of her interactions via text message. But the counselor did have this to say about the way James was talking to Ethan during that meeting that fateful morning. Take a listen.
And he was talking to his son and mentioned that, you have people you can talk to. You can talk to your counselor, you have your journal, we talk. And it felt appropriate.
So even though he didn't agree to take him home that day, he refused to do that, even though he could have easily done that. He hadn't yet gone to work. His job was as a DoorDash driver. The school was making it very clear, we think this is an emergency situation, but neither parent wanted to take him home that day. But could this help him because the mother was so cold about it all? We've got that, plus the video of him saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, over and over again at the jail after the shooting. It seems to show a little bit of at least parental warmth toward their child.
I thought Jennifer Crumbley came across as like, this son, Ethan, is an inconvenience to my life. I can't go horseback riding without thinking about it. I can't meet my lover without thinking about my son because he's texting me, calling me. He's an inconvenience. You don't get that from the father. I don't think it's going to make a difference. That jury's certainly going to look at his actions, the fact that he purchased the gun, that he didn't secure the gun. When the agents went to the home, the bullets were everywhere. They had the safes, but nothing was in the safe.
Is there any chance you think the jury won't convict him?
None. They will absolutely convict him. I can't imagine any other outcome.
Unless, who knows, there might be some dramatic thing still to come in the testimony. All right, Mercedes Colwin, good to see you. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.